Okay. So you say that maybe that's everything for the Ferrari saga. No, this whole podcast is a let's criticize Ferrari podcast.
Yeah, let's apparently there is more, right? It's like
Yes.
crazy to
So
me, but let's keep
so
going.
we talked a lot about like their strategy a little bit, or Binotto. We talked a little bit about like the Italian media and also how they run the team and how they're not building it around Leclerc. But we can talk a little bit about how, like, I know that they threw the race away for Leclerc, but we're gonna really take a look at exactly how bad the call that they made was. Like, I know that we say it's bad, but like I want to go into detail as to how bad it was and like all the knowledge that they had, because I don't know about you, and I think actually in the previous podcasts we said that Hungary is probably a Ferrari 1-2.
Yeah, yeah, we said it last week.
Like it
Or
has,
like the week before that, yeah.
yeah, like Hungary is the best shot. Like Ferrari is just gonna own in this track. It is so obvious that their car is just built for it. And what did they in fourth and sixth?
Yep.
After starting second and third, and Verstappen started 10th,
yeah.
and then ended first. So it's just really bad. So all weekend long, people knew that the hard tires were just not going to be the tire.
Well, horrible. Everybody
Like,
was, nobody even wanted to like practice that much with them because they just weren't working.
it's like people were saying like it was like a 1.4 1 second slower than the medium tire. It's like just incredibly slow, hard to warm up. They just weren't working at all. No team could make them work. So we all knew, like, even at the beginning of the fucking race, Crofty, the commentator, the guy that is suggesting that teams in the middle of the virtual safety car need to put intermediate tires on. And I'm like, dude, there's not even water. This guy.
To start driving. That guy.
Like this guy is he's even saying that like nobody's gonna try the hard tires for sure, right? Like the commentator, the commentator knows. And dude, I don't know if like maybe Ferrari were listening and they're like, oh, if the commentator said we shouldn't try it, and it's that dude, maybe we should try it.
We should try it.
Dude, so there's a couple of different calls. Nobody in Ferrari, nobody, the strategy that Ferrari did, it seems that they wanted to do medium, soft. I feel like that was the strategy that they were looking to do, because that's what they committed both Leclerc and Sainz.
Yes.
Like, that's just what we were going to do.
Right.
So they do that. And the other person that did that same strategy was Lewis Hamilton. I think Hamilton also went medium, softs.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, yeah, because he passed Russell and Sainz at the end.
So like you have, I have it here: Sainz, Leclerc, Hamilton, Latifi also went medium, softs. Oh, but he went double softs.
Oh,
medium, softs, and then softs again. So like that was the strategy that you were going. And I don't know why they didn't trust that strategy. Yeah. Like Hamilton did that same strategy and ended second.
Yes, and he ended faster. Like, so like he I mean, like if he would have been like in a top position, I think he's right. I think they would have competed for a win. No question about it. Like they had that much pace, and Hamilton was actually catching up to Verstappen at the end. A little bit. So I mean,
so like the strategy in itself wasn't bad. I think people were complaining that like, oh, they should have started Ferrari on the softs, but it wasn't a bad strategy. Like Hamilton showed that like it works, and Sainz also showed that the strategy works. But I think the criticism here with Sainz is that he just wasn't as fast as Leclerc was.
Yeah.
And the like we said, Ferrari just panics the moment that they see Verstappen coming to the pits and thinking we have to cover Verstappen. Verstappen came into the pits in lap 38 for mediums, and they're like, we need to cover him right now. And I'm like, you don't need to, just stick to your strategy.
Yeah.
Why do you have to switch it right now? Like, we all know what it is. Also, Ferrari is the only team that I ever hear on the radio like ask, we are thinking plan D. What do you like? What do you think? Like, they're always asking the drivers that that's what we're thinking, and I'm like, what happened to plan A, B, C? That now you're going plan D. Like, and then sometimes it's like we're thinking plan E, and I'm like, E. What happened to all the other ones?
How there's so many plans? It's almost like it's
Like,
too many plans.
It's too many. Like, what are you
there's
doing?
only like 2 or 3 tire changes you can make per race. There cannot be that many plans. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
like do you have to study an entire worksheet? And I'm like, okay, plan A this, plan B this, plan C this. How many plans is there in total? I think there was a race where like, okay, we're thinking plan F. And I'm like, bro, like if you're in plan F, something went really bad here.
Bro,
like,
it's like you have one strategy, an alternate strategy, and maybe an alternate to that. But it's like because you started with some tires, you can only change to a different compound tire. Like there's not, I mean, there's not that many variables from that. You can
like
one stop.
They make it too complicated on themselves. Like also like when it could be like, hey, we're thinking plan A +5. So it's like same plan A, but you add 5 laps to it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're thinking plan A is this, but plan B is this, but with this many more laps. Plan C is it's like, dude, you are the only team. I don't know if I've never heard any other team on the radio go plan D, E, or F. Ferrari is the only one. And also they are the only ones asking the drivers, tell me what you think.
Yeah.
It's like, we're thinking plan D, tell me what you think. Now, like, dude, no.
I mean, I guess it's kind of a way of saying like, how much longer do you think you'll go on these tires? What tires do you want to change to? All of these things, but it's like very complicated. They should just be like, they should just ask, how are the tires? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, but like, don't even ask. Like, even the clerk is telling you, I'm feeling good on these tires.
Yeah, they did.
So,
yeah.
So like, just trust the dude. It's like the guy is feeling good in the tires. The times are not dropping. He seems to be going faster.
Yeah.
Perhaps Verstappen came out with a brand new set of tires and he was going like a couple of tenths faster. It doesn't matter. He was gonna have older tires than you. Like, that's the reason you decided to go medium, soft.
You chose this strategy. Probably, I mean, I would hope that you had the idea that other people were gonna be doing other strategies, and that this one was better for that.
Yes.
Like you put trust in this strategy for a reason, and then you abandon it in the middle of the race.
Yes.
Like, what sense? You know, to the detriment and to the advice of your best driver, that I told you, no, I like this tire. I want to be in this tire for longer and as long as I can. And then you also know that like the hard is like the worst thing in the world, not only because it was in practice and stuff, but you can see the Alpines are like are going backwards.
The Alpines couldn't make it work, and we all knew. We all saw the Alpines, and they probably thought like, our car is better. It'll be. I don't know what they were thinking.
I don't know. It's hubris is what it is.
And like the tires were so bad that Verstappen did a full 360 in the middle of the race to check where Leclerc was.
Like, oh, there he goes. All right.
Oh, there he goes. Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought he was farther back.
Yeah.
He burnt out his entire rear tires, and he was still able to complete the race faster than Leclerc on the medium tires.
Yeah.
So like, that's like, if the medium tires could last for that long, and imagine how hard the hard tires actually were. There's no way you could have made them work. I don't know if there was a single person that was watching the race and thought like, that's a good call. Bro, everybody everybody that is like, they're pitting Leclerc, and you're like, how many laps are left? They can only put him on softs. There's not enough lap. Like the softs are probably not gonna last that much.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are they pitting him so early? Like he's doing less laps than on his first stint on the mediums. And then they give him the hards, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
They threw the race. Everybody saw it.
Yeah, and I was like, okay. I mean, maybe they prep something special. Maybe they really have something like on their.
Like you wanna believe them.
And then you come out and it's like, all right, let's make this work. Let's make this work, guys. And immediately like Leclerc is wobbling all over. Like the guy can't fucking get temperature in his tires, and he's just losing places left and right. And
Verstappen passed him twice.
Passed him twice, and you know Leclerc is actually a really good defender. Even on bad tires, the guy will defend. He couldn't do it. Like he couldn't do it on these tires. They were that bad. They had not prepared anything. They literally like they were clowned. They got clowned by fucking Red Bull. It really is how it feels like. Like they just fucking bumble all over the place, and like they didn't know how to react.
Yeah, and like I don't understand also the reason why, like, if Russell is starting on softs, why do you have to go different from what Russell is doing? Like don't you think that like if you go same strategy, like Verstappen is also starting softs?
Yeah.
So like, dude, you just have to do the same thing. But they started both Ferraris on medium tires. It's like if you want to have an alternate strategy, give the other dude the softs, you know?
Give the other guy, yeah. We
Like
said we're gonna try a different strategy. and then put him on a different one. Yeah, it's not that.
Like, but yeah, it's not like Mercedes does it fine. It's like, okay, Russell is at the front, let's put him on softs. Hamilton is at the back, let's put him on mediums.
Exactly.
And they both drivers are doing something different.
Mm-hmm.
What did Perez end up as?
Like fifth or something.
Yeah, fifth.
Like fifth,
and yeah, for both Red Bulls, they both started on softs and they just ended in mediums. Like they don't change their strategy, thinking like, oh, we gotta cover whatever. It's like, dude, just do your strategy, just stick to it.
Or if you think that if you really like don't know which one's gonna be, put the worst driver on like the
one that you think is the worst.
Yeah, the worst, exactly. But I mean, not the worst driver, just the one that qualified the least good, you know.
Yeah.
Just choose that guy and put him on a different strategy that you maybe not think is suboptimal, but that it's close enough that others may be doing it. And then all of a sudden, well, you have at least some winning chances. But if you really didn't like your strategy that much, if you were so in doubt of your own strategy, that you're gonna pit your best driver like in the middle of the race for like and like immediately jump ship from the strategy, then why are you guys not doing two different strategies then? Like,
yeah,
I mean, it's one way or the other. Either you really love your strategy and want to commit to it, and that's what you're sure of it, or you're not so sure, and then you put the other driver in. I mean, you can't abandon it then. Like, you have to commit now.
Yep. And then it was so bad. Like I said, it was so bad that they even determined if we switch him back to the softs, it's gonna be better than if we just let him keep like driving backwards. So yeah, it's just really bad. I don't know what information they had in comparison to the rest of the field.
They had the same. It's just
so like it's just something that I wanted to like say. Like Mercedes did it like I said, Hamilton did it just like them, and he ended second.
He trusts the strategy.
Yeah, and then like I think Hamilton pitted on lap 19, and then his second stint he carried it all the way to lap 51. Like the guy did, how many laps is that? 32 laps on like the second stint, and Leclerc went from lap 21 to 39, so Leclerc only did 18 laps. 18 laps on the second stint, and Hamilton did 32. Like, just to stick to your strategy. Hamilton would have won the race if he would have started first.
Yeah, exactly right. I don't know, and it really did work. The strategy really did work. They're going for the softs. I think if Ferrari would have trusted it, I think it would have paid off. I mean, yeah, they would have lost track position, but I think Leclerc would have just come back and passed Verstappen,
Yeah, he would have had
at least
fresher tires. He would have had
at least fighting.
softer tires, and it
Yes.
wasn't like in a track that like
They wore out like in 5 laps. Yeah, they were
yes.
gonna last. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's like okay, yeah, maybe we end up fighting Verstappen and coming behind him, but we trust our driver. But
Yeah.
for some reason, they feel like we shouldn't allow the driver to do this. Dude, the guy is there to race.
Right.
Just let him race and trust him.
The guy's fucking good at it too. Like the
Yeah.
guy's one of the best, if not the best. Well,
Yeah, so
not the best, but but almost.
so just put him there and let him with like the softer tires. He had softer tires. He's supposed to be faster. Let him fight for position.
Yeah.
Like
So, yeah, just come into the strategy.
it's better that you let him fight for position. And okay, we couldn't win it. We got second. But bro, getting 6th, 7th. What did he end up? 6th?
Yeah, 6th.
Like getting 6th.
You know which one? You know which one really? A comment that really bothered me afterwards was Sainz saying that I mean, I think with the pace that we have, that this is where we deserve to be today. And I don't know why that just rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like, no, you ended the wrong way. Like
Yeah.
you ended 4th when you actually should have ended 5th because your teammate got fucked over. And actually Leclerc was a very good candidate to win in the race. So it's not like, oh no, with the strategy or whatever. It's like, no, Sainz, you actually under fucking perform. Like you didn't do well in this race, and you were lucky you ended up 4th instead of 5th. I mean, I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way. It's like, for some reason, like, I mean, I don't know. Sainz gets like preference in Ferrari, and I don't like it because I don't think he's the best driver or the better driver.
I think
he still feels entitled to it, and I'm like, no. Like just like be consistent and like if you
I think he's just like saying brainwashed by Binotto, where like Binotto is also saying like, oh, we didn't have the best pace, and I'm like, bro, Leclerc, as soon as he got in front of George Russell, was the fastest car in the track.
Yeah.
How can you say that you didn't have the pace?
Mm-hmm.
Like the reason you didn't have the pace is because you fucked him over.
Exactly.
Like so yeah.